Yo, what's up, guys? Gecko here, and it is time to rank all of the Hoenn Pokemon. I've said it before, but I am super, super excited for this one. This is the ranking I'm most excited to do because I fucking love Hoenn. Gen 3 is the best gen. I fucking love this whole Pokedex of Pokemon. But I'm really interested to go through and actually rank them and decide where I'd put them. When I opened up this tier list maker, I must have used this years ago for the same thing because everything was already placed. So I quickly tried to reset it without looking at it too much because I don't want like seeing my past rankings to like influence like, oh, I said I liked that one. I want it to just be like what I think about them now, like in the current time. So we'll just get started here with Trico. This one is probably going to surprise a lot of people because I'm not super duper into Trico. It is a lizard, and I appreciate that, but the head shape is too weird for me. I do not like what they did with the head. It's still got a cool vibe going on. I still like a lot of it, but I just don't like the head. It just looks off to me. Grovyle, though, is the GOAT. Grovyle is one of the best Pokemon they have ever designed. I fucking love Grovyle. Easy S tier. In fact, I should make a tier above S to put this in. Septile is like probably a B for me. This one I think kind of loses some of the coolness that Grovyle had. I think it doesn't look as sleek. The tail looks a bit more awkward. It just doesn't feel as like sleek and nimble, like imagining it kind of like crawling around like a lizard leaping through trees, that type of thing. But I think the design is still good. Torchic is so cute, so adorable. Absolutely love this little bird. I love that it doesn't have wings. I mean, the at the tufts of fur there, I could never tell if those were supposed to be little itty bitty wings or not. I always just interpreted it as fluff and like it doesn't actually have wings, which is super adorable to me. Combuskin I'm fine with. I would consider moving it to B maybe, but I think I'm gonna put it here for now. This is one that never ever bothered me. In fact, I actually used to really like it when I was younger. I never understood all the hate for it. It definitely has some of that, awkward middle stage kind of look to it. It does look more awkward than the others in its evolution line, but I think it's a perfectly fine design. Blaziken is super cool. I did not appreciate this Pokemon as much as a kid. Honestly, I actually hated Blaziken as a kid. Like for a while, this was like my least favorite Pokemon in the whole series. I just despised how humanoid it was, and I hated like the hair on its head. It looked like just a long human hairdo to me. Nowadays, I'm able to see it more as like feathers and kind of this like crest of feathers on it rather than hair. So that did help me kind of come around to it. This is just a really, really cool concept and design. Dude, you already know Mudkip has to be way up here. Mudkip is the best, dude. I know it gets memed on a lot, but it actually genuinely, like, memes aside, is one of the fucking cutest Pokemon designs ever. I love this little dude. Marshtomp is fine. This to me, this is the most awkward middle stage in this region. It's kind of funny because it's like Grovyle is like easily the best starter. Like out of all of them, all the stages in the evolution lines, Grovyle is the coolest one, hands down. But then with the middle stages, aside from that one, like the other two is like these are so awkward. They really have the weird middle stage feel to them. Marshtomp is fine, I guess. I've never really had strong feelings one way or the other about it. Swampert is cool. I do really enjoy Swampert. This one would be like a high B for me. Like it's kind of somewhere in between A and B, I would say. I do really like what they do with this design because Mudkip is so cute, and sometimes it's hard to like take what's kind of a derpy like animal and initially it just leans fully into the cute and bring out a cool side of it. Like how do you make an axolotl cool? They're very very derpy animals. But they managed to make this really really cool kind of aquatic like fish like monster. It looks very good. I've always loved Poochyena. I really, really love this design. I love the scruffy fur on its body. I love the angry, like menacing growl that it always has on its face. Just a really, really good canine design. I know it's a hyena. I know it's not completely canine, but it's a canine-esque kind of, body anatomy. Mightyena is so sick. Like, honestly, I might put this up in S. This is like very, very high A, maybe S. I could see it being, but this is such a good design. This is like the quintessential like edgy dog hyena, like that everybody would love as a teenager. It just does it for me. Like this just warms my little edgy heart inside. Zigzagoon is super cute. Very, very cute little guy. There's nothing else to say about it. It's just incredibly adorable. And I really like the contrast of those big, like, innocent puppy eyes with the scruffy, kind of edgy fur. Linoon, I'm not as fond of. Okay, now that I'm already rethinking Trico being here because I'm like having this above Trico does not feel right. Like I feel like I do like Trico, just I'm not like in love with it. I'm not crazy about it. But yeah, okay, we'll move you up here. But Linoon also is in a similar boat where it's like I do like it overall, but it's like right on the edge of being neutral. Like it's fine. It's a totally fine Pokemon. I do like it. But there are better normal types out there. It also doesn't help that we have the regional variant now. Like Galarian Linoon is so freaking good that it's hard to go back to this one. Like this one is just inferior, but it is still a good design. Wurmpole is cute. I always liked Wurmple as a kid. It's one of my favorite starter bugs. Silcoon's very bland. Actually though, no, I don't think it deserves D because what I do like about the cocoons in this region is that they do kind of feel different from what we had before. You know, I would say Metapod and Kakuna are actually pretty interesting designs. Like they could have made very, very bland, generic blobs that are cocoons. They did make those look very unique. But these kind of stood apart from those where it is more of like the silken kind of chrysalis rather than what Metapod and Kakuna were. So I do appreciate that it at least sets itself apart from those. I've always hated Beautifly. There probably aren't going to be many Fs in this region, but this one I just do not like. I just really, really do not like how it looks. I really hate the sucker mouth that it has. I know butterflies have them. I know, but I don't like how it looks. I don't like it on real butterflies either. Cascoon I like more than Silcoon just because it looks cooler. It's got kind of that aggressive eye, which just makes it look cooler to me. But they're pretty much the same thing. Dustox is good. I would put this probably in B. Very, very unique moth-looking Pokemon. Like even today, as we've gotten a lot more bugs, this one still stands out as a very unique design to me. It's very cool to have the wings actually be fully connected, where it's just kind of like one half circle across the body being connected rather than wings on either side, which may not be anatomically accurate to what moths are in real life, but as a design, it's very unique and cool. Lotad is sick. I love Lotad. Honestly, this probably goes up here. What a funky little dude. I love this weird little lily pad guy. Lombre is probably here. One that I enjoy, but I'm not crazy about again. I like that it's, gets a body. It's a nice like step up from just being kind of a puddle in its first stage. But there's not much of note about it. Ludicolo, where do I put you? Probably also in B. Fun design. It's again like very unique. I like the progression from Lotad all the way to kind of this fully realized Kappa inspired kind of creature. But the design isn't really for me. I'm not super in love with it. Not really my aesthetic overall. C-Dot's fine. This would probably be like either B or C. This would probably be like a low B. I think that it's kind of just an acorn, but I do like the eyes. The eyes are unique. I don't know. I would consider maybe bumping this one down to C. I think that that's fair to say. Nuzleaf. I mean, this one has a special place in my heart just for being the origin of the word Nuzlocke. But as a Pokemon, I was never super into this for obvious reasons. It's very humanoid. That's just how it's going to be. Shiftry, though, is very cool. Shiftry is a really, really cool design. It is also pretty humanoid, but it is like, kind of like demon or Oni-ish enough. Actually, are Tangos Oni or not? Or are they a totally separate thing? I'm not sure about that. But in any case, it is creature-like enough for me that it doesn't bother me. I especially appreciate that it has ears, like non-human ears. That kind of helps me not think of it as a human being. And it just looks really menacing. Like this was just a really, really unique design. Tailow's a very good bird. I think I'd probably put it... I think that B is fair for this. I do really like it. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to move so many of these around afterwards. Well, in any case, I know that I like Swellow more than Taillow. Like, Swellow probably goes up here. Really, really nice color scheme. I really like the expression that it has. It looks very, like, determined, very aggressive, like it's not going to back down in a fight. I really like the two tails, or just like the split tail that it has. Really good bird Pokemon. Okay, we need to talk about freaking Wingull, man. I am so sick of everybody shitting on this Pokemon. I fucking love Wingull. And I will adopt all of the Wingull from all the people who hate them. I fucking love this Pokemon. The design is so pleasing. It is so satisfying that it has this little orb body. And then just like the wings are just like so shaped. And I know they don't make sense anatomically, but they're so shaped. I love them. I love the colors, just like those few spots of blue on its body. It is so good. I also like Pelipper. I'm sick of the Pelipper slander. This is not an S tier. I do like Wingull much better, but Pelipper is a good design. I will say the 3D model does not do it any favors. The 3D model made its beak a weird fucking shape that I do not like. But back in the day when we were still in sprites and 2D artwork, I think it looked a lot better. Like this version of Pelipper, just the official art, I really like the design. I've never been a Ralts person. This whole evolution line is not for me. Ralts is fine. Ralts is pretty cute, but I do not like Curlia. Curlia gets way, way too human for me. Not a Gardevoir person either. Yeah, just not for me. Surskit is so cute, dude. Surskit's so freaking cute. There are so many cute Pokemon in this region. This is possibly the most adorable bug we have ever gotten, rivaled only by Joltik. I don't know what I would say is the cutest one, but holy shit, this is a cute bug. Masquerain is also very good. Not quite as good as Surskit. It's honestly just really disappointing that it loses the water type, because having a water bug would have been very unique and nice. And they just make it another bug flying, which we already had a million of and got even more since then. But yeah, so that's a little bit disappointing. And then like some of the anatomy is just weird. So like the things that look like false eyes, at first I thought were its wings, but they're actually not, because when you see it flying in the 3D model, it's like these little like the diamond things on the side of its body are wings. So I guess those are the antenna. I guess the fake eyes are antenna. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But yeah, overall, the design just doesn't do as much for me as Surskit does. Shroomish is fun. I like this weird little walking mushroom guy. And then Breloom, dude. Breloom, yes. One of my favorite Pokemon. I fucking love Breloom. What a, like, weird concept, but also it somehow just works to, like, combine mushrooms with a dinosaur. And it's got, like, this mushroom hat and these stretchy dinosaur arms. It's so weird, but it's such a good design. I fucking love Breloom. Slackoth. Slackoth is fun. I've never been like super into it. It's kind of just there. And I'm like not really a sloth person in real life. Like I'm an animal lover overall. I love and respect all animals as living beings. But there are some that just aesthetically please me more than others. I've never really been a sloth person. I'm not super into like sloths or primates or any of those kind of animals. So this one doesn't do a lot for me, but it is cute how dopey it is. I do really like Vigoroth though, where it gets its aggression, gets its energy. It's actually up, able to fight. This is a really cool concept for an evolution line, where it starts off very lazy and then it's very energized in the next stage and then it goes back to being a lazy bum at the end. Is kind of funny to me. Slacking is also going to go here. Very, very cool. Like I said, since I'm not that much of a primate person and this is very gorilla-like, I've never been super into this design, but I do enjoy, again, the concept, and I do really like that it's so powerful that it had to be nerfed by being lazy and not being able to attack as often. Like, that's funny to me. Nincada is a very solid bug design. Really, really nice and unique bug. Unique typing for the time too. Actually, wait, have we gotten a ground bug since then? Is that still a unique typing? I don't know. In any case, I like it. I love Ninjask. I absolutely love Ninjask. It helps that it gets speed boost. Like one, I just love that ability. It's super good. And two, it just gives a lot of personality to this bug, I feel. And like that's really what abilities should be to me. Or like that's one of the coolest things about them is like even outside of how much depth they added to the gameplay of Pokemon, they can add so much personality to a Pokemon and like add on these other kind of little powers or like ways that they exist in the world, or things they can do in battle that you don't get from just the moveset. So making it this like super, super fast ninja-like bug that is just like all about outspeeding the opponent and kind of zipping around the battlefield is super cool. Shedinja is such a cool concept. What a freaking cool Pokemon. Some gimmick mons kind of fall flat. This one is very, very gimmicky. Like this is the one of the most gimmicky Pokemon in the game. But it's just such a cool idea to have a cicada leave behind a shell that is like a ghost type, is the husk left behind. Such a cool idea. The design is very cool. I love the halo that it gets over its head and then like the hole in the back of it where the bug would have come out of. And then just the typing is really cool too. I love Shedinja. Whismer's fun. Just a weird little guy, quirky little design. Again, another one that's just kind of like a monster rather than a particular animal that you can pin on it. If this is a particular animal, let me know. Like, I don't see one. I don't think the ears justify being a bunny just because they're long. But yeah, this is just a fun little guy. Loudred's very cool. I'd probably put Loudred up here. I love the big boombox ears that it's got, and then just that huge screaming mouth. Really fun design. Exploud is also very cool. This one is probably low A for me, maybe high B. I could see moving it down. Still very good. It feels so monstrous. Like this was one that always seemed intimidating to me, and I really appreciate that about it. Makuhita's fine. This is one that as a kid I didn't really like, partly because of how human it was. But I think there's something charming about it. I really like the closed eyes and then just kind of the rosy cheek markings that it has. And then also the fact that its bag is like a head that, or sorry, its head is like a bag that's tied off, I think. Which I don't know how that works anatomically, but it just looks really fun. Hariyama, I think I'm still iffy on this one because this was one that I really did not like as a kid. And nowadays I've like come around to it, but I wouldn't say that I like it per se. I think I've just made peace with it and just accepted that like it's not really my thing, but I do appreciate there being a sumo wrestling Pokemon. Azurill is super cute. Very unnecessary. Meryl really did not need a pre-evolution. And honestly, the typing is fucking stupid. I don't know why it's normal type. It should have just been water from the start. I don't know what makes it not water type. But the design is really stinking cute. Nosepass is very unique. I almost want to put this up here. Like, I have really, really come around to Nosepass. If I'm going to do that, though, the starters definitely need to be higher. There's no way I like this thing more than the starters. Why did I put these down in B? What was I doing? I don't know why these are down here. I really like these. Anyway, sorry. I noticed that as I was looking up at the other things I put up in A, I'm like, why the fuck are the starters lower than, like, freaking Lotad or something? I mean, don't get me wrong. I like everything up here. But, like, damn. Yes, so Nosepass. Something about this just, I don't know, I've come around to it. I think it is such a unique and cool rock type. I think that's part of it. Is like, it is still to this day so unique from other rock types because we do have lots of Pokemon, lots of rock Pokemon that are just made of rock and they're kind of just rock creatures. And that's just kind of the trend with a lot of rock types. But this one still kind of sets itself apart by being kind of shaped like that Easter Island head, having the big red like compass nose. Also like the eyes being closed is really interesting to me. It just has a very unique vibe that I have really come to appreciate. Yeah, dude, we're definitely gonna have to move stuff around. Looking at this, yeah, we're gonna be adjusting a lot at the end here. But let's keep moving on to Skitty. Skitty has never been my thing. Yeah, I do appreciate the color scheme. The pink is very cute. I appreciate like the face. It's very like reminiscent of, well, just like kitty cats doing the squinty eyes closed face. It's very cute. But there's not much else to say about it. Delcatty, this one's like, I guess also C. This would be a low C for me. Skitty just is cuter overall, and this one doesn't really gain enough coolness for me to be, attracted to the evolution over the first form. Sableye is sick. What a fucking sick design, dude. Having a little goblin gremlin guy that actually has gems for eyes is such a fun idea. It makes it look so, like, alien that it doesn't have normal eyes. And it also just fits with the theming so well, and just like that it would kind of hoard shinies to itself. Really, really fun Pokemon. Mawile is more like a B for me. As you can probably predict, I don't really like how humanoid the body is, but the big chompy mouth on it, the second mouth, is really fucking cool. Like, that's what makes the design for me. Oh, dude, this evolution line is so near and dear to my heart. For a long time, Aggron was my second favorite Pokemon overall. And I love this entire evolution line. Like, Aron I'd probably put here. Lairon is, okay, so I just recently found this in my files again. I did a that favorite Pokemon picker thing where like you find your favorite Pokemon. I did my top 10 within the last year. That was like a handful of months ago. And Lairon was in the top 10, which if I did it now, I think it would even be different. Like, I feel like my favorites shift around a lot. The top 3 or so usually are pretty cemented, but the others shift around. But yeah, Lairon is just everything I could want in a Pokemon design. It's monstrous, it's cool, it's badass. It's got this like edge of like the steel spikes down its back and the big claws. It looks like the type of creature that I would want to be my companion. Like, it has just enough friendliness that it still passes as like a pet or a creature that would want to travel with you. But then when it comes time to battle, it's like, this is the thing you want on your team. This would be so sick to have. And then Aggron, dude, if I need to explain to you why Aggron is S tier, what are you even doing here? Like, this is everything that is cool put into one Pokemon. It is an armored dinosaur monster. What more could you want, dude? If that is a turnoff for you, if you're like armored dinosaur, that's not cool. Why would I want that? You can leave. Like, what are you doing here? What are we doing here? Metadite. No, the onion head is not for me. Same with the evolution, not for me. Not a fan. I really like Electrike. Really cool, little doggo guy, but still feels very unique with the head situation going on. I've never known exactly what it's supposed to be because they're not exactly horns, but it looks cool. I don't know. And then Manectric is also really cool. I'd put this one up here. I really, really love the color scheme. The blue and the yellow look really good together. And yeah, just a cool Pokemon. Plusle and Minun. Yeah, more Pika clones. Really unnecessary, but honestly, these are very cute, and I do really like the concept of like the positive and negative charges that complement each other. It's a really good concept. Oh, dude, no, these suck. I forgot that these were gonna be F tier as well. I just do not like these. I really fucking don't. I could maybe see Volbeat making it to D. I do like the vibe of this one a little bit more. It has more of like the cool kind of tone to it over Illumise, but I really don't like any of them. Roselia is gonna be, where do I put you? Probably C, I think. I could see it maybe making it up to B, but this is one that is just not really that interesting to me. Well, I wouldn't say it's not interesting. I do like the concept. I like the roses on its hands, and especially that they're different colors. That is a really, really nice aspect of the design that I've always appreciated. I think it would look a lot blander if they were the same color. But it's just not really for me. It's pretty humanoid now that I look at it. I think that's what it is. It doesn't vibe with me. Gulpin is cute. It's just a quirky, weird little guy. It's a stomach. Isn't it a stomach? I think it's just meant to look like a stomach, which should be gross, but it's just a funky little guy. I don't know why. I just find this guy funny. Swalot, I'm not as fond of. I don't like the mustache, and it just kind of loses some of the funness for me, because part of Gulpin's appeal is that it's so shaped. It's so round and blobby, and this one kind of just loses that. It's not as satisfying. It's more elongated. It's got all these weird globules on the bottom. Just not as appealing. Oh, dude, Carvanha's so sick. So is Sharpedo. I'm putting both of them up here. This evolution line is so fucking good. This is hands down the best fish Pokemon we have ever gotten, and it's not even close. And then Sharpedo, dude? Are you kidding me? A torpedo that's a shark? That is the sickest thing I've ever heard. I fucking love these Pokemon. Wailmer is going to be a B. This one also satisfying how round it is. I do like the big toothy grin. It looks very whale-like to have all the little teeth in there. But it's not anything too exceptional. Whalelord, kind of same deal. I do appreciate how huge it is. It is very funny and very fitting of a whale. But again, design-wise, there's not a lot going on. Nummel's cute. I always like this little guy. I like the noise it makes, the wah noise that it makes when it comes into battle. And it just is cute. It just has this expression that it looks tired and like it doesn't know what's going on. And I appreciate that about it. Camerupt is really cool. This one I didn't really care for as a kid because I've never been super into like hoofed animals either. Obviously that's a very, very broad category, but like I was always more into obviously the reptiles and carnivore animals like bears and tigers and wolves and that kind of thing. It was more my speed. And so I didn't appreciate Camerupt as a kid, but this is a really, really cool Pokemon. I love that it has volcanoes on its back. That is so sick. The colors work really nicely together. This is just a really cool Pokemon. Torkoal's the homie. I can see this being high B or maybe low A. Yeah, I mean, it's a turtle, but it's a really unique take on it because instead of going the water route again, they're like, what if fire turtle? I also really like that it was a pretty unique fire type and that a lot of fire types, especially the older ones, are kind of just like animal that can breathe fire. And this one was kind of a new take where it's like, what if we go more of like the smoke aspect of fire where it like surrounds itself in smoke. It has smoke-based moves. And it still has fire-based moves as well, but it just felt like a fresh take on the fire type to me. Spoink. Spoink is so cute, dude. I love this little guy. Spoink is such a friend. And then Grumpig just doesn't do it for me. I think they just really dropped the ball in this evolution. Spoink was just so cute and so satisfying to look at that I don't know what you were going to do with an evolution. Like, it's a tough one. I don't blame them for going the route they did. Like, I'm not sure what I would do with an evolution either. But it just really loses all of the charm that Spoink had. Spinda's funny. I think that B makes sense for it. I really appreciate that it looks like it's drunk and hobbling around all the time. This is just a fun one. Trapinch is super cute. I love how big its head is. I love the big chompy mouth. This is a friend that I would want on my team. Vibrava is very cool. I also really appreciate this design. I really like it a lot more now than I did as a kid. As a kid, I kind of just dismissed it because I liked Trapinch so much and I liked Flygon so much that I kind of dismissed the middle evolution. But this is also a very cool and solid design. Flygon is so sick. What are you doing if you don't put Flygon in S? Honestly, still salty that it was not Bug Dragon. This was the perfect opportunity for that typing. Like, I know I said Yanmega should be in my Gen 4 ranking, but like, this really should have been the Bug Dragon. Everything about it looks like a Bug Dragon type. But anyway, I digress. That's not what it is. But even with what we got, the design is so freaking cool. And it is still to this day one of the most unique dragon types we have. Cacnea is a really, really cool little grass type. Very unique as well. There were just a lot of like, I don't know, fresh new takes on Pokemon in this gen, I felt like. They just had some really good ideas. Like this one, having a cactus as a concept, but not making it just literally a cactus and perfectly cactus shaped. It still, again, feels like it's like a monster that just kind of uses that as its inspiration. That is like my jam. And that's probably why I like so many Pokemon for this region. I feel like that's the direction they went with a lot of them. Cacturne is also very good. I feel like this one I would put maybe down here. And it's actually not for the reason you'd think. It doesn't bother me that it is more human shaped than Cacnea because it is supposed to look like a scarecrow. And so that works with the concept. I actually don't mind the body. It's more so the, I guess it's a hat. Like the thing it has on its head covers its face. And I think they're going for like kind of the mysterious, like it's scarier if it kind of has that shadow over its eyes. But I kind of wanted to see the face a little bit more. Like the hat just looks kind of awkward to me. Swablu is so cute. Swablu is so cute. Who doesn't love this bird, dude? Same with Altaria, so fluffy, so satisfying. Really, really cute bird Pokemon. Zangoose is sick. Really, really cool design. I love how the markings on it look like battle scars. Like it's just got like these edgy, almost wound-looking things on its body. And then like having the red markings on the hands makes it look like its hands are like blood-soaked or something like that to me. Like maybe I'm reading too much into it and it's not supposed to look like that, but it does look like that. It looks very like feral and scary. So Viper's a very cool design as well. I don't think I'd put it higher than B, but I do really appreciate the colors, the tail being kind of this like sickle blade kind of shape is a very cool looking snake. The reason I wouldn't put it higher is I think there's just like a little too much going on. I do really like it, but I think that especially the face has a little too much going on with the markings. Yeah, I would take out just a few details here and there. Lunatone and Solrock. These are honestly really cool. Like Lunatone, I would put here. I do like it a lot more. Solrock, I could see more like a C. I think Lunatone just looks nicer. Like it's just more aesthetically pleasing to me. The shape of it is nicer, and then the eye really does it for me. Like it's not really scary per se, but it just like I don't know, there's something like mysterious and like maybe slightly ominous about it that works with the night theming. Whereas Solrock, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. The design just isn't as appealing to me. I have always really liked Barboach, and I don't know what it is. I would even maybe move this up here. I mean, I really like loaches in real life. One of my favorite fish. They are so like squiggly and goofy. And so is this Pokemon. It's a squiggly, goofy Pokemon. I actually like the like facial hair, I guess it is, but just like the little strings coming off of its lips look really cute and funny to me. Um, yeah, I don't know. This is just a cute fish. Whiscash, I'm not that fond of. I would even maybe put this in D. I don't know. I don't hate it. It's just what's the word? It's just I don't know. I just don't really like it. It doesn't appeal to me that much. I think part of it is the body shape, and part of it is just the expression. Like I think the eyes are not that interesting. They're just like circles with pupils. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it has that much personality to me. I really like Corefish. Just a really good little crawfish guy. Like I think they just did a good job translating that animal into a Pokemon and having it look like a Pokemon. Crawdont is very cool. Really, really ramped up the design in all the right ways. Looks more menacing. I like the like smaller, like I guess legs or like pincer arm things it has. Oh, this is just a cool Pokemon. All right, then we have Baltoy and Claydol. Baltoy, I really don't care for. Actually, I think D is harsh. Um, yeah, I don't really have many feelings on this one. It's kind of just there. I usually forget that this is there. I do like Claydol though. Claydol I'd put in B. Very very unique and really mystical looking kind of design. Like it does feel like kind of an ancient creature that you like unearth or that's from some ancient civilization. Very cool design. This one's pretty cute. It's very very unique for a fossil. Like even nowadays, it still kind of stands apart. Same with the evolution. Cradley I'd probably put up here. It's so unique. Like it is a plant, but it's also not. Like I don't know. It just has kind of this vibe that I enjoy, where it's like, is it an animal or a plant? Is it it kind of is somewhere in the middle. And I really like the eyes kind of peeking out from the darkness inside its head, I guess, or maybe it's inside like part of the plant. I don't actually know. It looks cool though. Anorith is very cute. I probably put this up here. I like this little guy. I love the big bug eyes coming out of its head. And then also just like all the little like they're not feathers, but like all the little spikes coming out of its body look very cool. This is a cute little fossil Pokemon. And then Armaldo is sick, dude. I might put this up in S or maybe very high A. But what a freaking cool Pokemon, man. Like this region just has so many monsters. Like I fucking love the ones that are just like these big monsters that would destroy you on sight. Like I love that vibe. And this is just such a unique one too because it is based on a prehistoric creature. But so it kind of has kind of that weird alien look since it's not really like a modern day animal. And then also just having it stand up on two legs and being sort of that kind of behemoth dinosaur-ish shape to its body is just so cool. Feebas is fucking whatever, man. Like, I can appreciate the concept. I like the idea of an ugly duckling Pokemon, but it's like in fish form. The concept is fine, but the design is icky, which it's supposed to be. I get it's supposed to be. It's just I don't like how it looks. Milotic is beautiful. Freaking beautiful Pokemon, man. So elegant. They really knock this one out of the park because, with a Pokemon like this, where the whole concept is the ugly duckling concept, you really have to nail it with the evolution. It really has to look beautiful and elegant and like it was worth, evolving the lesser evolution. And this really does. Cast form is whatever. I've never felt that strongly about this Pokemon. The idea is fun. I like the different weather forms it can turn into, but like it's really not that useful. This is a gimmick Pokemon that kind of falls flat because it's not that great gameplay wise, and so I don't feel like using the gimmick, like learning to use the gimmick because it's not really worth having. Kecleon is probably like a B. Probably surprising again. I know it's a lizard. I do like it. But something about the design just it's not a wow factor, I guess, is the way to say it. Again, B is still positive. I do like it, but it just doesn't wow me the way that the Pokemon in higher tiers do. I think it doesn't help that it's a very gimmicky Pokemon. And it's not a gimmick that you can like use to your benefit. Like the opponent can kind of exploit your color change ability. So I think that that's part of it too. If Protean had existed at the time and they introduced it with Kecleon, that was its gimmick when it first came out, I think I would have actually liked it a lot more. Because it is a cool little guy. It's a cool chameleon Pokemon. But it just kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth when you really can't use it on your team. Shuppet, really good ghost design. I absolutely love the eyes. The eyes having like multiple colors looks so good, and having them be very different and bright colors just feels very like whimsical. Banette, I'm not as fond of. I don't think there's something wrong with the design per se. I think I just don't really like the concept as much. I mean, the backstory to it is very creepy. I don't mind the idea of a possessed doll Pokemon. But Shuppet just works for me so well that the direction it goes, it just kind of loses something for me. Like it loses the whimsical color scheme. It loses kind of the ghostly looking body. It doesn't look as ghostly to me. It's got the thing on the head, but I don't know. It just loses something for me as Banette. I love Duskull. Duskull's such a good ghost design. I might even put this in S. Such a good ghost design. Probably one of my favorites in the series, honestly. Just really good incorporation of a kind of a skeletal theme, having the skull rather than just being like ghostly and ethereal. I really like that they incorporated that into it. And then I always loved the one floating eye that's kind of just like floating between the eye holes in its head. So unnerving. Such a good design. Dusclops I'm not as fond of. I might even put this one in C, honestly. I don't know. I do like it. I think that the eye is not that interesting. It's just a circular eye. I do appreciate that it still has one. I like that they kept that aspect. But Duskull was just so cool that it's kind of like a downgrade, you know? The body also isn't as interesting to me. Again, the mummy concept is fine. I'm on board with the concept. But I think I would have liked more of it almost kind of like unraveling or making it more obvious that it has a mummy-like body, because I didn't even know that that was the concept until like I think when I was an adult, like much later after I had already played the games, which did make me appreciate it more than I did before, but I didn't get that from looking at it. Dude, I love Tropius. Oh my gosh, dude, there are so many of my favorites in this region. I love Tropius. I love grass types, as you know. I love dinosaurs, as you know. So having a dinosaur that is grass type and uses leaves as its wings is super cool. Chimecho is probably B, I think, for me. I really love the concept behind this one. Having the little wind chimes. I forget if there's a specific name. I'm sure there is for the Japanese wind chimes that are shaped like this, but they have like the little circular glass part up top and the like kind of chime and the what would the term for be, like the slip of paper? I don't know if it's actually made of paper, but hanging down from it, like turning that into a Pokemon is such a cute idea, and this is just like a really pleasant Pokemon. I just appreciate this one's existence. Absol's so cool, dude. Who doesn't love Absol? Absol's sick. The concept behind it is really cool. It's also sad. It's like Absol didn't do anything wrong. It's just like this bad omen that people view negatively. But the design is so good. The subtle like yin and yang thing going on with the shape of its fur on its head and then the sickle on the other side, and then like the sickle tail as well. it does look like something that would be a bad omen or would be, kind of scary to see. But then also just like very, very elegant and very regal looking as well. It's a really, really good design. Why not? More like why? Why is this in here? Like, why did we need a pre-evolution for Wobbuffet? I'm not gonna put it down D. I don't hate it. I'm just like, why is it here? Why does this exist? Snorunt. Snorunt is really cute. I so greatly appreciate that in its 3D model in the newer games, it actually shivers. That is the freaking cutest thing ever. That honestly made me love it even more that it has so much personality now. Because like as a kid, I was kind of like, whatever, it's just kind of there. I like the evolution more. But now it's like, oh, it's just like this little cold guy that's like in his little coat thing. Such a cute Pokemon. Glalie very cool. I always really like this Pokemon. Another one that is very like menacing, and I just imagine like coming across this in the mountains while you're like hiking through a blizzard or something. It's just like this floating face made of ice. It would be so freaky. Now we are here. We have arrived. So I have been going on a journey with this Pokemon for many, many years now. I have always loved Spheal. But back when Gen 3 came out, like when I was actually a kid, I really liked it, but it kind of just fell by the wayside because there were so many Pokemon in this region that I loved. Like particularly Grovyle and Aggron were my second and third favorite Pokemon for a very, very long time. And then slowly Spheal started to creep up and I'm like, oh, actually, like this is one of the best Hoenn Pokemon. Spheal is great. And then it broke into my top 5. I don't remember when this was, but I was like, actually, I fucking love Spheal. Like Spheal is one of my top 5 favorite Pokemon. And then recently, as I was saying when I did that favorite Pokemon picker like some months back, Spheal ended up supplanting Lugia as my number 1 favorite, at least at the time that I took that quiz, which has never happened. Lugia has been my favorite Pokemon since 2000 when the movie came out. I saw the Lugia movie, Pokemon 2000. I fell in love. I have never loved another Pokemon that much since. But Spheal is perfect. There will never be a more perfect design. I have said that for some of our S tiers, like, oh, this is a perfect design, this is a perfect Pokemon. But this is it, folks. Like, this is where I really, truly mean it. This is a perfect Pokemon design down to every single thing about it. There is nothing you could do to improve this. I don't know how you'll ever come up with a better design than this. This warrants making another tier. The perfect Pokemon. The perfect Pokemon does exist. It is Spheal. There is nothing you can do about it. This is just how it is. You're just going to have to accept it. And honestly, if you don't like Spheal, do you even enjoy life? Do you even have happiness in your heart? Do you have a smidgen of joy or humanity left in you? How could you not love this Pokemon? Look at this thing, dude. Look at this Pokemon. Like if you don't feel joy looking at this, please get help. Like your heart isn't working right. Look at this Pokemon, dude. Look at Spheal. I've said my piece. Spheal is perfect. It's all downhill from here. I mean, none of them are going to be placed that highly. But Celio is also very good. I do really, really like this design. It still retains the nice pudgy body shape. And the whiskers really add a lot of personality to it too, that set it apart from Spheal. Walrein is also cool, but I never liked it quite as much as the others. I think it's how much fur it has covering its head. It looks like hair to me. This is just like my own thing. It just, if something looks like a human feature, especially if it looks like hair, that's a no-go for me. I really hate human hairdos on animal characters. That doesn't even go for just Pokemon. Like when they do that in movies and stuff too, I hate it. It's gotta look natural. It's gotta look like it's just animal fur. Clamperl. This is fine, I guess. I don't know. Very, very like unexceptional, uninteresting Pokemon. Honestly, this deserves to be lower, dude. I'm looking at what else is down here. I'm like, bro, I can't put this above like Gardevoir and Wishcash just because it's boring. Like, no, this is not good. I do like Huntail. Huntail is a really cool design. I really love the color scheme. Blue and orange is my favorite color combo. It looks really good on Huntail. And I just really like that it is so unique from other fish Pokemon. Gorbis is honestly terrifying. Its Pokedex entries scare me. That kind of makes me like it though, because it's like on design alone, I would hate this thing, and I used to. But when I read the Pokedex entries, I'm like, oh, this design, but it's actually like a ruthless killer that's way scarier than Huntail. That's actually kind of sick. I really like Relicanth. I have always really loved this Pokemon. I think that it's very forgotten. It doesn't really get used at all because you only find it when you're diving. So I can see why it's forgotten. Some people might not even come across it in their playthrough. But I think it's just a really cool design. And like the fish it's based on is really cool too. So this is just a good Pokemon. Love Disc is whatever, I guess. Like it exists. It's not offensive. It's actually kind of cute that it's heart shaped, but like it's so unexceptional as a Pokemon that I just can't put it higher than this. Bagon is cute. Love this little dinosaur guy. Who doesn't love a dinosaur? Shelgon, I have really come around to as well. As a kid, I thought this was kind of goofy and dumb. And I didn't really get it. But like having a cocoon that's a dragon, like it has a cocoon form as the middle stage. That's really fun. And it still looks very draconic too. Salamence, probably I still would place up here. Definitely don't like it as much as I did when I was a kid. As a kid, this was also one of my favorite Pokemon, definitely from this region, if not overall. But nowadays, I'm like, it's pretty generic. It's kind of just your standard Western dragon. 4 legs. The wings aren't even that detailed. They are just like crescent shapes. But it also is a dragon, and it's a very pleasing blue color. It does look really good. So I also really appreciate just the kind of backstory of this Pokemon, that it wanted to fly so badly that it kind of like willed its wings into its existence. So it like turns into this little dragon cocoon and it undergoes metamorphosis and it comes out with wings. Like that's very endearing. So that does really make me like this whole evolution line. This evolution line's also really good. Beldum, really unique looking as well. Really cool design. Good color scheme too. Matang, also good. I'd probably put this one down here. Not quite as cool, but I do like, again, what they did with it. Metagross is so sick, dude. Such a cool Pokemon. I probably wouldn't have placed this highly as a kid. I wasn't really that into it when I was younger, but this is just such a good design, dude. The X on the face looks so menacing. It's kind of like spider insect-like without actually feeling like a bug. It just kind of uses that anatomy, but it feels like this almost kind of like automaton, like machine creature that came to life. Really cool. Also very cool typing. All right, now we get to the legendaries. So the Regis, I am not that into the Regis, to be honest with you. I do really like Regigigas, but these just are kind of bland to me. Like Regirock especially, it's just made of rocks. I don't know, it's just not good. Regis, this one I'm more okay with. I think that the whatchamacallit, the arm shape with like the ice crystal fingers is at least kind of interesting to me. And then like the spiky triangular legs, it's a little more interesting to me than Regirock is. Registeel, kind of same thing. I think this one's also more interesting than Regirock, but not really my thing either. The Latios, love the Latios. I've always liked Latios more, but both are fantastic designs. They are dragon jet planes, dude. What more could you want? Like, there's so many Pokemon in the region where I'm like, what more could you want? It's a dragon jet plane, bro. What else do you want in your life? Now, if we need to talk about these two, dude. This is, hands down, the best legendary trio we have ever gotten. And I don't want to hear anyone say otherwise. Every single design in this trio is fucking S tier. S tier. I would almost make another tier above this to put these in. These are some of the best Pokemon designs in the whole franchise. Easily the best legendary designs. Holy shit, dude. Knocking it out of the park with these would be an understatement. Like, it is insane how good these are. When I do my favorite Pokemon lists, I try to avoid putting too many legendaries on, although I do really like a lot of the legendaries. Like, obviously, like I said, Lugia has been my favorite Pokemon for most of my life. But if I allowed any number of legendaries at all, these would all be on there, dude. Honestly, these are so fucking good. This is what I want my legendary Pokemon to be. They should be huge hulking monsters that, like, you would not be able to stand up to. Jirachi I've never been into. I'm not really a fan of Jirachi. The little sprightly kind of creatures are not really my jam. I do like that it grants wishes. That's cute. But yeah, not really my thing. I don't know if it necessarily deserves D. I just don't really care about it. Deoxys, I have come around to. I hated this as a kid. This was another design that I really despised. I did not like this. Probably again because of how humanoid it was. That probably was the biggest factor. I've also just never really been as into like sci-fi type like concepts and creatures. It felt very much just like an alien that would be in a sci-fi movie versus the more kind of fantasy route of like dragons and those kind of monsters is more my speed. But I have really come around to this because it really is a cool concept and a well executed design to have the DNA spirals. That color scheme of the red and blue together works very nicely, and then the spiral like DNA arms is very, very cool. And then all the other forms it can turn into also look really nice, and also just give it a lot more personality. So yeah, DX gets a thumbs up in my book. Now we get to rearranging. I was too harsh on Trico. I do like it. I mean, for fuck's sake, it's a lizard. I like it. It's just like the head shape just throws me out. I get hung up on it because I'm like, I really wish they did something different with it because other lizards we've gotten just look a lot better to me. But Trico's still cool. It also has a lot of personality too. So yeah, move Trico up. Honestly, like I feel like these starters deserve to be moved up too. I think that like compared to what else is in C, that's much too harsh for them. I do like them. I do have positive feelings toward them, just not nearly as much as the other starter evolutions that are higher up. But these are good. Probably too harsh on Whiscash and Feebas as well. Yeah, I because I would say my feelings on these are pretty neutral. Like I said with Feebas, it looks ugly, but that's literally the whole point of it. And then yeah, with Whiscash, yeah, I don't know why I put it so low. I don't dislike this Pokemon. I just don't really vibe with it that much. Dude, it's actually so wild seeing Wingull up here with all these other fucking Pokemon that are like ones I consider the best in the series. I'm not budging though. Wingull's design slaps, dude. I'm not moving it. If anything, I would make a tier above this. That would be like here, add a row above your SS tier. And this is for the ones that are like literally like cream of the crop. Oops. There's like the absolute fucking best designs in the whole region are up here. And then S is like still fantastic designs. We have more tiers on this one than any of the other. I think this is a pretty accurate summation though. I feel like I mentioned this in another video, but sometimes even by the time I get to editing, I already see things that I would move around again. Like my feelings on Pokemon are kind of fluid. Like, and I don't know if this happens for other people, but it's like some days you're feeling certain ones more than others. Ones that you usually like, you might not feel as much, or ones that you usually don't like. It's like, actually, I'm pretty okay with this today. It just depends on the day. Like, it just depends what I'm feeling at the time. But I would say this is a pretty accurate summation of how I feel about the Hoenn Pokemon, especially the upper tiers. Those are like my favorites in the region, what I think are the best designs in the region overall. So I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this one, especially since it is my favorite region. And like I said, I love so many of the Pokemon. I would really love to know if you feel the same or if there are some lower down there that you really love and you would really like to talk about how much you love them. I would love to hear it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.